And welcome to another video from yours truly. This will be put in the next episode of the podcast, which will be should be available tomorrow. Um, for now, this is my reaction to the Royal Rumble 2017. I I like the match between Nia Jax and Sasha Banks. Jax looks like she's about to be built up for better things this year. We'll see what happens. I think they're going to have her keep dominating overall until something major happens. It's good to see Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows finally get a tag team reign. I think they've deserved it. They've worked very hard all their careers. They've been around the world. They've done a lot of stuff. Multi-time champions. And now they get to be the WWE Raw Tag Team Champions. Hopefully that means they're going to be in a major spot at Wrestlemania. And while we're on the subject, I've noticed tag team divisions having a backseat in major events, and in my opinion, that needs to stop. They need to be given, major status, not just at the kickoff show. I mean, in the main part of the show. I'm thinking this is garbage. It needs to stop. Quit de-emphasizing the tag team divisions from both respective brands, because this is getting ridiculous. If the Cruiserweight Championship can be defended during the main part of the show, then the tag titles can be defended too. But that's just me. But anyway, glad to see that tag team actually have a championship reign. In terms of Charlotte versus Bayley, that was a pretty good back and forth match. The way that Bayley has been going about things in the ring, it's almost like she's reminding me of Sting to a point, where she takes Charlotte Flair to the limit, kind of reminiscent of the 1980s, where Sting took Flair to the limit. I'm hoping that happens, and I'm actually hoping to see some face paint on her in the future. That would be pretty cool. But it was a good back and forth match, and the whole taking them to the limit but not quite there yet, kind of building Bayley up to be the big underdog. I can see that actually being very worthwhile. So I'm looking forward to that. Also, the respective matches with Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns and John Cena and AJ Styles were pretty good. Owens going through the structure. Looked like Reigns was going to win the match, only for Braun Strowman to get his revenge for getting speared by Reigns. Good setup. And then there was the whole match between Cena and AJ Styles. I wanted AJ Styles to win. Honestly, and again, this is just me, I hope they don't throw Styles away. I think it'd be stupid for them to do that. He was a good champion. And hopefully he'll be given a good role at WrestleMania, not just against Shane McMahon, because that would be entirely, totally stupid. I can see a good match between Undertaker and Reigns, because it was just the series of disappointments, just sudden disappointments. If you're not wanting spoilers, don't watch the rest of this. Goldberg humiliates Lesnar again. again, and it was a hilarious moment. The look on Lesnar's face was priceless. Goldberg eliminates a couple of people, and then Undertaker just eliminates him. You know, the whole, damn it. But it was a pretty good moment. Undertaker had his moment, and then Reigns came in, and Reigns just went in and just, bam, eliminated Undertaker. That's gonna set them up for WrestleMania, probably. Seth Rollins is probably going to be facing Triple H at WrestleMania, the ultimate revenge match, to transition into better things. And what I'm hoping will happen at some point is Ambrose loses the Intercontinental Championship, and they all get screwed over at once, and then they finally reunite as the Shield and basically wreak havoc and say we've had enough. I look for Cena to lose the championship quickly. Hopefully not to Randy Orton, because we've been down this road before. It's stupid. There is no need whatsoever to do this again when they've been at each other's throats time and time again. It's stupid. Only way I can see that working is if it turns out Bray Wyatt's using Orton as a puppet. But even then, that would still be somewhat stupid and pointless. If they really want to salvage this, which they get offended if you suggest storylines to them, but whatever, I would personally have it to where Lesnar gets the Universal Championship, and then somehow Goldberg winds up with the WWE Championship, and the two just keep going and going and going off on a rivalry. But they're probably not going to do that. Instead, they're probably just going to have Goldberg versus Lesnar at WrestleMania again. And maybe, just maybe, have one last match, or maybe they could just let it drop, and Lesnar, that one thing that eludes him. Because even if Lesnar wins another match, wins one final match with Goldberg, Lesnar still has somebody who's one-upped, but, one-upped him, and that would be Goldberg. So having Lesnar get revenge is going to be pointless, because Goldberg humiliated him a total of 3 times. So I don't see the reason behind that, but we'll see what happens. I'm still going to enjoy it regardless. Other people were like, worst Rumble ever. There was no surprises whatsoever. Well, the one quote-unquote surprise of James Ellsworth being in the Rumble. But that didn't last very long. They pulled nothing. They pulled nothing out of their sleeves, so to speak. No tricks were up their sleeves, so that means that it was just kind of mundane to an extent, too. There are some good moments. Strowman versus Big Show, that should have lasted a little bit longer, in my opinion. But, oh well. But, I don't know what's going to happen with Orton, if he's going to challenge Cena for the championship, or if he's going to go against Kevin Owens for the Universal Championship. I don't know what's going to happen. Owens has to defend that belt against somebody. I guess we'll see who later on. But even with some of its shortcomings, I still enjoyed the Royal Rumble. And is it me, or or did Corey Graves sound like Randy from South Park? I mean, it's just like, it just cracked me up every time he said certain things. He sounded almost like that dude from South Park. So, anyway, that's my reaction to Royal Rumble. What are your thoughts on it? Just, feel free to comment in the comment section. Also, feel free to check out our Patreon page. We have it up and running now. If you like what we do, want us to be able to do even more, feel free to chip in, help us out. Short term, I want us to eventually have some better recording stuff. Long term, better upgraded hosting and everything else. The way I have it set up now, it will work quite well. At some point, though, should we have the privilege of having a bigger audience, I know what's going to happen. It'll put a strain on resources. So that's why I'm setting the groundwork now, so that later on we'll have a better, chance of being able to reach even more people. As for why we don't use other services to host the podcast, well, it's so the site ranking actually goes up. Because if the podcast is coming from the website itself, that means the website itself is getting more traffic. The more traffic it gets, the better the site ranking becomes. So everything eventually leads back to the website. That's my reasoning behind that. So, and I'm also under no illusion that that's going to eventually require upgraded hosting sometime down the road. My dream is to be able to do this type of stuff for a living. Do something that I know I have fun with people that I enjoy hanging out with for a living, and be able to go all across the country to all sorts of places, events. I want to eventually be able to have people live at specific events and say, hey, I was here. Here's some of the people I was with. Even get some interviews. Those sorts of things. So with just $1 a month, that's just $12 a year. Pretty comparable to a subscription to a magazine, right? Thereabouts. You'll get exclusive access to our newsletter, which I will probably post at the end of this month, which is Tuesday. It's going to be a very brief one. But in the future, it'll be exclusive to those who become one of our Patreons. So if you go to patreon.com/thenextreport, you'll be able to, check us out there and become one of our patrons. And just $1 a month, it will start building up momentum for us to be able to do more things and get more stuff done. But that's all for now. And this will be part of episode 110 of the podcast, which I'll put together this Tuesday. Anyway, I will see you all later. You all have a wonderful day.